name is Oleg Ankudinov, and I'm happy to be here and before my video presentation of my final research paper, Big Business and Small States, Unilever and Norway in the interwar years. The beginning of the 20th century was considered to be a new era, the era of new technologies and progress. Unfortunately, after a short period of development, a period of total decline came. Political and economical relations between European countries were very weak and very poor due to the First World War. It's not a secret that sometimes huge corporations that have monopolies in some economical areas, they can influence on the governments of the countries where they perform their activities. At the beginning of the 20th century, some multinational corporations had a real power. They tried to enforce some European governments in case to receive some benefits. Small countries didn't have any chance to have this struggle. So what could they do? They just agreed with the corporations' claims and requests. As a sample of such things, we'd like to take a case study of the Unilever Corporation and a small Scandinavian country, Norway. At the end of the 19th, the beginning of the 20th century, Norway was famous for its whaling and sealing industries. According to the statistics, more than 10,000 people were involved into the whaling industry. The whale oil was the essential ingredient for margarine and soap production. Some foreign investors, they wanted to establish their enterprises in Norway. They wanted to invest their money into new technologies. The new technologies let them refine the whale oil into this essential ingredient for margarine and soap production. At that time, about 39 manufacturers were operating in Norway. The biggest ones were Denofa and Lilleborg. Let's start with Lilleborg. Lilleborg was founded by Norwegians. It was one of the most respected and always companies in Norway. Denofa. Denofa's 50% of shares belonged to the Norwegian shareholders. The other 50% belonged to the British soap manufacturer Lever Brothers. Lever Brothers was also one of the most consumers of Denofa's production as well. Very interesting shareholder scheme. Denofa had very ambitious plans, and they interfered with the Lilleborg company. Lilleborg owners, in case to avoid any future problems and troubles, decided to purchase a proper amount of shares from one of Norwegian shareholders to block any decisions of Denofa concerning any further expansion on the Norwegian market. On one hand, it helped. On the other hand, it didn't. Lever Brothers Corporation, as the main owners, they announced their plans to establish a new plant in Britain. Lilleborg owners, as one of the main shareholders, were forced to invest their money as well. In 1927, 1928, a lot of different emergencies took place in Europe. As a result, only two main consumers of the Novus production left. The first, the Riebesch-Leber Brother Corporation, and the second, the Dutch Margarine Unie. On the 3rd of September 1929, a big event happened. Two corporations, the Leber Brothers and the Margarine Unie, they decided to join their forces, and they established a new company. They named it Unilever. As a result, Denofa has received only one main consumer of their production. As Unilever stayed the only main consumers of Denofa's production, it could manipulate with Denofa company any way it liked. Lilleborg, as one of the Denofa's main shareholders, could not perform their struggles anymore. It cost too much money for them. So in January 1930, they capitulated. Since that time, Unilever stayed the only company in Norway who was operating nearly all oil mills. In this case, Unilever could manipulate with the prices for the production any way they liked. They could rise it, they could lower them, it's up to them. The Norwegian government was really very upset about that fact. They were not interested in any price rising. So they made an offer to the Unilever owners. They offered them to share the Norwegian market and offered them a part of this market. Unfortunately, Unilever considered this part to be very miserable and they refused it. They declared a kind of war to Norway. They stopped purchasing any whale oil at all. As a result, many Norwegian workers, they left their jobs, they left their income sources. So, in this case, Norwegian government did have to carry on negotiations. As the final result of those negotiations, the Unilever market received 34% of the margarine market and 40% of the soap market. This sample, this case study, is a perfect sample of how, through a chain of emergencies and quite smart strategic decisions, a small company has become a huge multinational corporation. A corporation which was able to dictate its terms to the whole European countries. Thank you very much.